so important that we have a Supreme Court nominee who is independent, fair, puts the interests of hard workers and ordinary citizens above those of well-funded corporate lawyers or whatever special interests are on the other side of a case. And the worst he could do is send us somebody who would be terribly divisive at a time when we need less of that.
Seems like Roe v. Wade is the big talker right now. Is that going to be a deal breaker for you if it's someone who may vote in support of overturning that?
Well, I'd say two things about that. First, as I've been traveling the state, we have a holiday recess this week, so I've been able to be around Wisconsin, and lots of people have weighed in with their opinions about the Supreme Court. But I would say, without a question, women's reproductive health is high on people's list. But I would also tell you that, especially since there is an ongoing lawsuit on the issue of whether people with pre-existing health conditions can be assured that they can get coverage that they can afford. Several states, including our own Wisconsin Attorney General, are pressing that case. They're terrified that after working so hard to defeat legislation that would have taken away that right, that the Supreme Court could do the same. And so people are, I think they're watching this more closely than I've ever seen. So that is what I'm hearing. The other thing I would say in answer to your question, having had the chance to sit down with Merrick Garland and had the chance to sit down with Neil Gorsuch, and also having the chance to sit down with judges or lawyers who were vying for district court or circuit court nominations or confirmations, they are very unlikely to be advised to share their opinion on a specific issue when there's not a fact set in front of them. And so as much as we think it would be great if somebody says, this is how I'm going to rule, they're not going to tell you how they're going to rule. And so again, I'm going to be looking for independence, fairness, and especially folks who hear the ordinary plaintiff in a case and hear their voices and stories. One more. Anyone?
I got one for a story we're doing down the line.
Why vote against Gorsuch? Did you feel like he wasn't independent?
He and I had probably a 45-minute discussion. We went through a number of cases where he had written the decision. I didn't feel satisfied by the answers. And especially what concerning to me was he almost, I don't want to overstate it, but it seemed like he almost always sided with the big guy against people who are just trying to have their day in court.
Okay, thanks, Paula.
All right.
Thanks, Senator.
Take care.